Massive changes for Warhammer 40k and the Balance Dataslate is finally here. So in this video, myself and Jord, we're going to go over the updates to the rules of the game and also the impact of the points. We're going to be discussing our opinions, whether it's good or bad for the game. We're also going to be looking at how it's going to impact each faction through internal balance and also from a wider perspective of the impact that's going to have on the game as well and the tournament scene as we know it. So of course, balance, something we all hope for. We want all factions to have that equal opportunity to not only lose events, win them, and also come somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want things that are constantly spammed, and we want to make sure that everybody, whether you play narratively or competitively, there's a reason to take the units on the table. So let's go into it. We'll cover what we like, what we dislike, what we'd have hoped for.
Yes.
But first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to Games Workshop for not only sending us this access and being able to review this for you, but also for doing it. Okay, we might not agree with everything, and that's completely cool because that's why opinions matter and how we can keep shaping the game. But for a long time, we didn't get these things, so we're actually very, very blessed that the company, you know, really take pride in making sure they have a balanced game and keep pinging the needle closer to where or what that might look like.
It also makes things interesting.
It certainly does. Shakes it up a bit.
Absolutely. So
now,
get into it.
Yeah, I think there is one thing to note as well, that we have to remember wherever you are in the world, you're all going to have your local meta. Whether you play on Games Workshop layout terrains, the UKTC, or also maybe WTC, or maybe just a homebrew collection of terrain, and each of those will impact you massively. And of course, you don't always have to use these things. You could just, you know, agree with your friend if you don't feel like something's fair. So don't always believe that this is the be and all end all to play the game.
No, absolutely not.
Right, so let's get into it. We're going to go through alphabetical order.
Yes.
All right. So if you play World Eaters, wait until the end. And right at the end of this video, we'll give you our hot takes. And in another video, we'll also go over the impact. We're going to take a look at some of the top meta current lists and see how much they've changed by and whether that would increase or decrease their chances of winning events.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ready, George?
They're definitely ready, mate.
So we'll start with Adepta Sororitas.
So some big changes actually for the points. If we take a look at some of the characters here, we've got the Canoness up 10, Vals up 15, we've got the Hospitaller up 10, and then obviously the new unit as well, the Sanctifiers has gone up 10, Rets have gone up 15, Sacrosancts up 10, Dominions up 5. And I think a lot of this has come from, I mean, especially in the UK, there's been a lot of lists that go around, like the Champions of Faith, even some Bringers of Flame have come back. But these Sacrosanct units with the Hospitaller in to get the 4-up Invul, the 5-up Film of Pain, has been like a staple build for Sisters of Battle, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been interesting because obviously I played Sisters for quite a long time with Army of Faith, and they had big changes to the army rule.
Yep.
Literally this time last year. And I think ever since they've kind of slowly gained popularity, but in the last data slate, Retributors really changed.
Yes.
And I think they got a little bit of extra life that they needed, just a few extra rules clarification, a little bit of a glow up. So now that unit comes in at 120 points for Retributors. It is quite a lot for what they do, but
yeah,
they're one of those units that can either do extremely well or can really whiff it.
Swingy.
They are swingy. And also in Sisters, there's not a huge amount of ways to turn off Overwatch.
No.
And at the end of the day, they're toughness 3 with 1 wound with a 3-up save. So very easy to deal with. But that being said, if you can get them in the exact right spot, kill one of those vehicles that you need to, you can get that little bit of a trade up on points. Yeah,
Sisters are quite a high skill cap army, aren't they? So a lot of these armies will be doing well because they're piloted very well and there's a lot of skill that you can do with them. So
yeah,
you're not going to necessarily let your Retributors be overwatched. Yeah. And the plays that you can do with this will be great, but a lot of these units are the staples of Sisters list. So Sisters list will be going up, and those Sanctifiers are very good. Yeah,
they are, and I actually agree with a lot of these changes. Val was extremely good for what she does.
Still hate her.
Yeah, I know you do. You've got some real hatred for her there. It'll be interesting to see now how she's going to be impacted by Victrix Guard, because a lot of people now are really teching to deal with Victrix Guard, and they're 4 wounds with a 2-up, 4-up basically, by the time you factor in cover and armor contempt, which is the same as your kind of Paragon Warsuits.
Yeah.
So what kills Victrix Guard also kills this unit as well. So sometimes an army can fall out of favour, or a unit can, simply by the fact that it has the similar sort of profile as those other predators in the game. But, you know, I think easily a lot of people's lists are taking at least 2 of these units.
Yeah. I mean, Val's been, I wouldn't say carrying, maybe she has been carrying the faction for the whole edition, really, but that unit is, if you listed your top 5 units in the game that could deal with anything,
she goes in there.
She goes in there, I think.
Yeah.
The 15 points doesn't change anyone taking that unit, you're still taking it. It's just now attacks on top of whatever else you were taking in that list.
It does separate her points cost, though, from just taking war suits alone. Yeah. Which is quite good. But anyway, I agree, and I think, you know, we'll see like maybe 100 points being taken out of the list. Because when you do play against Sisters, and I have recently, I did feel like they had a lot of stuff. So even a couple of units less, I think is probably good for it. Yeah. Okay, so let's now take a look at another one of my armies. Okay. Adeptus Custodes. Any rules changes, Jord?
No rules changes whatsoever.
Okay, but points changes. We've got Terminators are down 5 points per model, basically, and they scale from, you could take 2, 3, 5, and 6. Each of those are down by 5 points per model. The Custodian Guard are down 10 points on whether you take 4 or 5. And the Vigilators, this is the girls with the big swords.
Yeah, nice.
Whether you take 4 or 5, they're down by 5 points, and whether you take 9 or 10, they're down by 10 points. And then the Witch Seekers are down 5 points for 4 and 5, and down by 25 points, whether you take 9 or 10.
Okay, I mean, Witch Seekers, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they were like seen in most lists just for some scoring pieces, but good flamers, right?
You never really shoot them.
Right, okay.
Because for the most part, you want to take them as at the time, they're 50 points, are now going to go down to 45, just for 4 models with OC1 that can scout move.
The scout, that's it, yes.
So you scout move forward, do an action, cool.
Yeah.
Start the trading.
Bob's your uncle.
Now, I was a big fan of Terminators. Not many people ran multiple units like I did, especially outside of Lions, so it's good to see them get a little bit of love.
Yeah, the Lions is where you saw that unit, just for the split, and then they go off, be like action monkeys around the board, right?
But that's not really what they're designed to do.
Well, they're Custodes, right? They should be killing everything.
They shouldn't be doing, oh, hang on a minute, I'll cleanse this.
Oh, established locus, on my way.
This elite warrior. I'll just stand there and engage, cool.
Right, let's just split. You establish, I'll go figure out what's in that corner of the board.
Sabotaging, It's not really the purpose for them, right? So, look, I think that's a great change for them to see a little bit more limelight. And ultimately as well, I think we've seen a huge power creep in those types of armies over the course of time, like Death Shroud Terminators, the Dark Angel, what are they called? Knights, Deathwing Knights. You know, even Space Wolf Terminators. A lot of these units, Victrix Guard, are on par with Custodians and maybe even cheaper per point. So actually when we look at it, we think, well, it's nice to see them become a little bit cheaper, but that's not really the direction you want Custodes to be in. No. Because they should be the ultimate warrior. They really should, but helping them just get more models, you know, doesn't really help the army function in the way that you want it to as a Custodian player. I'd rather them, you know, just be like all dreadnoughts, you know, and have that feel on the table.
Bit more tanky.
Anyway, I'm super excited to get my list back on the table. I think for me, the impact will be around 60 points. Change to my list.
That's good.
Which is all right. Maybe it's another unit of Witch Seekers to play the mission with, or maybe it's just upgrading my Witch Seekers to, I don't know, like a Cluxus Assassin that you suggested or something.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because like 60 points for most army. If I got 60 points in my army, I'm like laughing. Now I can add something in or like upgrade something quite drastically. 60 points for a Custodes, even with the points drops, is not. You can take a 4 Custodian model up to a 5 model. Yeah, exactly. So it ain't going to change the game for you. No. But another unit could though. So, or maybe a couple of other enhancements. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's positive changes for Custodes. Will it help them win events? I don't know. So let's get into Adeptus Mechanicus now. This army can win events, and it has done. And congratulations to Richard Siegler for winning the Worlds, because that is an outstanding achievement, good sir. So Mechanicus, any rule changes? No rules changes for AdMech, just a heap of points increases. Now, they did have a lot of rules changes in the last Balance Dataslate. Yeah. Infiltrators, I think, had a glow up on their combat. I think Belisarius Cool got some new rules for the rerolls, basically an Oath Mechanic. Oath Mechanic. It's a weird one with AdMech because if you played it straight from the Codex, it's a completely different army to what you're playing from this version. So, but like you said, because of the changes to rules, things went down for quite a while. So the army was even more of a horde army, but you had these elite hitting units, like these big bricks of 10 infiltrators, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I think this is absolutely justified. I think most people would expect this with the changes from the faction from the previous days.
And I don't even think Mechanicus players want to actually have that many models on the table.
No.
But, you know, Belisarius' Call has gone up 35 points. It's interesting to see that because I remember saying I didn't know why their points went up.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be corrected on that because I saw the rules change, but I thought you've given it a rules change and a points hike, and I didn't know if that would be justified. But also now, here's the thing, if you put the rest of the army up and less units now get the ability to get the rerolls, is it then too far for Call? I don't know. Because you've got less units that can be impacted by the rule that he's giving. So anyway, we'll see on that. But I think the Belisarius are up by 10, 20 and 30. The Sky Stalkers are up by 5 and 10. This is the unit that puts you in jail. And then you've got the Infiltrators up by 5 and 10, and then Rust Stalkers up by 5 and 15, depending on unit sizes. Yeah,
I mean, the damage output of this army is insanely strong anyway, isn't it? So I think as time will tell whether or not this is actually going to be like a more of a balanced way of playing AdMech now, or whether or not this is a bit much. But I think this is completely justified, personally.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I wanted to see in this was robots coming down. I want to see more robots on the table, but they're my favourite. Anyway, so let's get into Aeldari now.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not sure if it is going to be okay for Aeldari. Yeah. Okay.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know. Rules. Let's start with rules.
Okay.
Right. The first one. Now, there's a few here I 100% agree with. I really do. Now, let's get into the first one. Star engines. Agile ability is now becoming assault for ranged weapons. So what was it previously?
So previously, it was just plus D6 plus 1 to the move characteristics of a vehicle.
Yes.
I think that this is a great change. I think the ability to just go something like 20 plus inches with a Wave Serpent or Falcon, disembark, and...
That's the thing. It's the disembark part.
Yes.
Because when it changes your movement characteristic, you can still disembark.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can still shoot. So unless you have the rule to advance and then disembark, this is completely different now.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think this is a bad change at all.
Nope.
I think those vehicles move fast enough anyway, and if you want to advance them to get into a good place, absolutely. It just takes the threat range off Fugan and those fire dragons, off by D6 plus 1 inches.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I'm happy with.
Yeah.
At least that's not hitting you maybe turn 1.
Yeah.
It's maybe turn 2. Cool. Great change. Right. Now let's take a look at the Aspect Host and War Host strat change, because they literally have the same wording of their stratagem. And what you could do at the end of the fight phase was embark back into a vehicle. All right, it's 1 CP. Very strong. We've seen this used with Fugan in the Fire Dragons.
And
the other combination, as you said, was the Dark Reapers, but with Morgan Ra. So now it's changed that you've had to have fought in the fight phase.
Yeah, or been eligible to fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's massive. I mean, Fugan can do work in combat, right?
Well, you only really need to make a charge move, which is all right.
Yep.
And then you can couple that with, Jane Czar, maybe some Banshees, pick up the unit, and then you can still do it. So it just means that you can't have Morgan Ra sat at the back of the table, jumping in and out of his Falcon. You actually have to get up close and personal, which means then the counter to the Wave Serpent's that little bit easier.
Yes.
Because maybe you can multi-charge it if you're a combat army. Again, I think this is going to increase the interactiveness of how this unit plays, which I think is great.
And the other change as well on Warhost, there's another stratagem change for Fire and Fade, which basically means that you just can't embark normally again with this stratagem.
So you can Fire and Fade for a wall, you just can't, and obviously hide, get behind terrain, but you can't obviously get back into a transport because you just can't embark.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think overall they are good strat changes. Next up, we've got, and this is the one I really agree with, Aspect Shrines, the little tokens, cannot be used on the characters.
This is massive.
Well, Drukhari can't do it.
That's why you agree with it, because you've had to play with it, yeah.
I've been like, well, Eldar can't, why can't I?
Exactly.
I want to put a 6 in for Drazar, but I can't. I mean, they could actually do with that, to be honest. That'd help them out a bit. But anyway,
Sure it would.
I think this is good. Now, if we look at the units that people were using this for, nobody ever used it on Janezar anyway.
No.
Because it's actually better on the girl with the 3 damage.
Absolutely.
Everybody's just going to use this on the Fire Pike, who was actually more unlikely to hit than Fugin anyway. And you've still got the CP for sustained. So is it going to make a massive difference on those? Maybe not. It affects Morgan Ra a little bit. It definitely affects Azuman, because you could obviously put 6s in to get your crit hit, your crit wounds for the devastating. So it certainly impacts you on Azuman, Morgan Ra. Baharov didn't care anyway because he just crit hit regardless.
Fugin's split shot though, because it's sustained 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like I've had that happen to me a few times. Just
on Overwatch.
On the Overwatch, on the double, then you get 9 hits into you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like you said, this should have been the way anyway.
Well, it just tones it down a bit, doesn't it?
It doesn't mean that the characters just feel like absolute blenders, even though they probably should. They're like the Phoenix Lords, right? But it doesn't take away from these units. Maybe you'll see other units from the army actually being used rather than the reliance on aspect units.
Yeah.
But
so let's get into the points changes. Eldrad is up 10.
Yep.
And I'm not sure on that one. He was already quite an expensive character for a CP, effectively. He doesn't offer you with that much more for you.
Is it +1 to wound he gives you?
Yes, limited range. I believe it's only 18.
Okay.
And I think you need visibility.
Yeah, you
so
do need visibility.
It's not huge, you know, having that 18-inch range. And then if he's within 18, he probably dies.
Yeah.
Because he can only join limited, units that are not very durable.
Sure.
Your Fire Dragons for 10 are up 10 points. Who's the problem? 10 Fire Dragons or Fugin? Fugin's the problem. Because he stands back up. He's the one that does a lot of the damage.
Increases range.
Yeah. Personally, I'd have just put Fugin up by 10.
Yeah.
And left the dragons. Because now we can't use the aspect shrines, we are going to be much, much closer. We can't do the disembark move with the dragons. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think like Fugin for 120 for a character that gets back up as well
is good.
And has all the abilities he does with the damage abilities he has.
Yeah.
I think he probably could be more than 120.
Could have left the dragons alone though.
Exactly.
Because if you want to run your dragons, it's like you now have to take Fugin to get the most out of them. But anyway, Janezar's up 15 points, as is Lycus.
Yep. Both taken in every list though, to be fair. They were staples of every Aeldari list.
Yeah.
And like we said, they're not really the offenders of the tokens to a degree.
No.
So it probably is fair that they go at 15. Storm Guardians +10, the sticky objective unit, and Hawks for 5 up 10 as well.
And so Warp Spiders
and
up
Warp
5.
Spiders. I think, again, for most Aeldari lists, especially the top ones, it's just spamming aspect units.
Well, you normally see 3 units of Hawks, 3 units of Spiders, maybe 1 unit of Storm Guardians. So you're probably looking at 15, 30, 40 points increase, 40 plus Lycus and Janezar, that's another
30 there.
So you're looking at about 100 points, including the dragons. So then you're going to lose out on an aspect unit. So the list basically becomes exactly the same, minus either one less Warp Spider or 1 less Swooping Hawk.
And a few less tricks with strats and abilities.
But fundamentally all operate mostly the same.
Which is, hopefully that just tones them down slightly, but doesn't make Eldar unusable. Because they should be a high skill level army where you can pull off tricks and do things that other people can't, manipulate the movement phase to the maximum, but they also shouldn't be uninteractive.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big problem here, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next with Eldar. Like, will people just take the same lists? Because if they do, then there's an internal balance problem with the other data sheets, like the points cost of the avatar and, I don't know, like fire prisms that you never really see and all those other units. Are they now too expensive? Because if they are, they'll need to come down in order for there to be hang on a minute, I'm actually going to change my list rather than just taking the same list minus a unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that doesn't really help the game.
No, absolutely.
Right, Astra Militarum.
No changes whatsoever.
But they do have a new detachment, though.
That is a big change. There's a new way to play the army. But I don't think Astra Militarum really needed too much. I mean, look, we could all wish list on certain things here and there, but they're not winning events left, right, and centre. They're not a problem army. I do feel that they are in that middle line. Rogue will Dawn's probably propped the faction up a little bit.
Yeah, but I think this new detachment will give them a good new lease of life.
Agreed.
Without getting into, because they haven't really changed over the course of this whole Balance Dataslate many like unit profiles. It's just been light touches to rules and also points changes. So it's probably been an intentional thing to give it a light touch. I'm interested to see where this detachment takes them, because I'm interested in playing Guard now because of this detachment.
Yeah.
So we're looking to get a new Guard army for the channel, and really excited about what we can do with that. So it's pretty cool.
We were having fun building lists, actually, weren't we? Just looking at the new combinations you can do with that detachment, and even some of the detachments from the Codex are actually quite fun. Like the Siege Regiment is really fun, and actually I do like combined arms as a detachment. So
I still like the kind of SAS one from the Bridgehead
Strike.
I think that still looks cool.
Yeah, it's
just because I want to run 30 Cassigan in anyway. Yeah, cool. Right, next up, Black Templars, another one of your factions here. Yeah, it's like I play them all.
You play all the top A's and then moving into a B.
Yeah, as soon as I get to D, that's it.
You don't play any other army.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
Templars, so points increases.
Well, there's no rules changes.
No rules changes, no. But the Castellan's up 10, the Ancient is down 10, the Empress Champion is up 10 as well, the Execrator's down 10, the Valiant's down 10, but the Executioner's up 15. And I think, I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether or not you think this was justified. I mean, they're not exactly a problem army, they're a strong army, but I think also the Executioner's been the one that's propping up the faction quite a bit, mixed up with a few Sword Brethren units and the main characters themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think easily here, you look at this, the Valiant coming down 10 doesn't really inspire me to take it.
No.
It'd need to be cheaper than that. You do get the extra multi-melter as a Valiant, being Black Templars, one of the best reasons to take it. But if the army rule, if its rule was just slightly more geared towards, or if you got +1 to wound, it'd be good. But the Champion going up, the Emperor's Champion going up 10, I think justified, he's fine. The Castellan going up 10, yeah, he was a very cheap kind of giving you full rerolls to hit, but again, you don't get Oath. So when you compare it to the cost of what's like the Space Wolf Battle Leader, what's he gives you sustained hits and reroll ones.
Yeah.
How many points is he?
He's 65. In all fairness, I think when we come to Space Wolves, we can discuss that. I think he is very cheap for that sort of price point anyway, for the rules he gives you.
Yeah.
But because that's more like, it's more of a lieutenant equivalent points cost.
Yes.
But actually it feels more like a captain rather than a lieutenant sort of model.
Yeah. Because now the Castellan is up to 70 points. So yes, he gives you full rerolls, but he also gives you reroll hits of 1. You need to take a leadership check in order to get it. And your Sword Brethren hit on 2s.
Yeah.
But it does mean the interaction, which is the problem, is when you have one of those with full rerolls to hit.
And the crits on 5s.
And the crits on 5s from the Marshal. So who's the problem here?
Well, the Marshal with
the crits on 5s. Yeah. So I think the Marshal probably could have gone up instead, but it doesn't, you know, the Marshal's 80, if he was 90 for crits on 5s, you're like, yeah, fair enough. Also is a bit of a blender himself, but the Castellan, okay, sure.
It's a weird one. It's like give and take, isn't it? But it's not like a...
It's not groundbreaking.
But I do agree with you, it's the wrong model that went up.
I think so. But
I agree. I also think that the Execrator going down is quite nice. The Advance and Charge is nice for him, but the problem is are you going to take him over a crits on 5s reroll all hits unit? No. Well, I wasn't normally combining the reroll hits in crits on 5s because I felt like it was too much points investment for what then you lose in return. Yeah.
The Execrator giving you Advance in Charge is cool, but most people play Gladius.
Yeah.
Most people take Stormlands.
Yeah.
That for me is a fundamental issue, a huge issue that I would have loved to have seen change in this Balance Dataslate. I'd have loved them to say, sorry, Black Templars, you don't get Oath and you don't get Gladius and all the rest of them. But here's what you do get instead, to help the faction in other ways, because they could have left the points cost the same or even reduced a few, because then there'd be more use for an Execrator to give you Advance in Charge. You'd see a bit more flavour in there, I think, personally. Now, the Executioner going up 15, yeah, probably valid. It's a very good tank with the full rerolls to hit. Okay, cool. Did it need to go up by that much? Sure, people were spamming them.
Yep.
But anyway, I think Black Templars will pretty much stay in roughly the same space as they are.
Yeah, it's not changing the list drastically, is it? Maybe an enhancement or a unit change here or there. It's not breaking a list.
You're probably going to lose 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
Cool. One less scout unit or something.
Yeah.
But aside from that, everything will mostly stay the same.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Blood Angels. Those rules changes.
New detachment.
Wow.
I think that says everything about the detachment.
That is a detachment and a half, yeah.
It's saucy.
But there is a points drop. And I'm happy with this, because I think this is justified. The Sanguinor down 10.
Yeah, Sanguine Jesus. He's gone down to 10. Well, not to 10 points. Yes. That's my wish list. Sanguinor down to 10 points. Typo. No, Sanguinor down 10.
So what's putting that now?
130.
Still expensive.
So it's expensive, but I think for what the Sanguinor does, I think he should be a premium, because he is his ability is extremely strong.
One of a kind.
Exactly, one of a kind. He's very unique, but he also is good in combat. And obviously in Inheritors, he's extremely good. In other detachments, less so, but still has a use. It's a lifestyle change that's going to make the army a little bit, like, if you want to take him, cool, you got 10 points there, extra.
Yeah.
I don't think Blood Angels really needed points changes.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see how this new detachment plays out, because
it is interesting, like, in a lot of lists that had the Sanguinor in, they'll probably just be left with 10 points left in there, because it's not really, unless anything else really goes up or goes down.
And do you include him in the new detachment? I mean, he has a place, but there's better things. And I just think, Blood Angels didn't really need anything, but this new detachment, I think, if it's as strong as we all think it is, expect points increases next time.
Question for you. When he comes in from his ability, is there any strats you could play on him in the fight phase when he fights first to battle shock him so he gets the +2 attacks?
Yes, so you could... Actually, no, there isn't, because he wouldn't have made a charge move if he does his ability. So
it doesn't count as a charge?
No.
Because the heroic intervention does count as a charge.
Yes, you could heroic intervene and battle shock yourself to get the +2 attacks in your opponent's turn, battle shock in your next turn. That's the only way you could or battle shock yourself, because the other way is through advancing and charging. But this is where I don't think he.
But then it's going to cost you 2 CPs. One's a heroic.
Yeah.
And then one to battle shock yourself. So otherwise, he's just coming down with +1 extra attack, is he?
No, because he doesn't even get that because he didn't make a charge.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I'm saying. He's not. He'll do his thing. As a standalone data sheet, the Sanguinor's great. But we like to see the buffs like the rerolls or something of that nature. He does get the reroll once to wound.
Okay.
So he does still get that in combat, which is good.
All right, cool.
But yeah, overall, we'll just have to see how this new detachment plays out.
I think we play well. Right, Chaos Demons. So let's cover the rules changes first.
Yes.
So Kairos Fate Weaver is now flat damage 3 and AP 2, right? So his indirects had a big old buff, but he's also gone up 15 points.
It's not enough. I don't know. I genuinely. So if we look at the profile of that weapon, it's 6 shots plus D3 indirect, and has AP 2. There's.
Can I ask you this?
Go for it.
If more people take it, does that then start to change what the army looks like? Because at the minute, it's just 5 big demons, basically, isn't it? 4 or 5. It's normally Bellicor, it's normally Rotigus, it's normally the other great unclean one with the 4-up Feel No Pain, which we'll come on to. Then it's normally Scarbrand and insert other. So if this comes into play a little bit more and then reduces the amount of big monsters that are charging you, which 6 inches away, I think I'm kind of happy with that.
I'd rather face a great unclean one that I potentially can't kill, that would sit on an objective that I can score elsewhere, than a demon that could just sit behind a wall and shoot potentially 9 flat 3 damage shots at me and pick up my elite units without even looking at me.
But then that's also coming from your perspective as somebody that runs a lot of 3 wound models.
True. There is that aspect of, I have that army type. However,
you're like, Sangari Guard!
I am just crying for my Sangard, but at the same time, I just don't think that was needed. I don't think he needed flat 3 damage, because he's still got, he's got a Vectora.
Sure, yeah.
So
I suppose it depends on how many other profiles are in that book that can offer you a flat 3 option. Did it need to be indirect? I don't know.
Could have took the indirect off and I would have been fine with it, but I just think indirect flat 3 damage on him doesn't really help the faction.
Or change the range of it. Maybe it could be indirect at a shorter range.
The problem is, and we'll come to this, is when we look at Thousand Sons.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a bigger problem in that army.
Okay.
But overall, there's other changes though still with this army.
Well, if demons start going up to #1 spot, then we'll say you're right. And if everyone's including Fate Weaver, then it was clearly a problem.
Yeah.
And if not, then...
I just cried for nothing.
Yeah, probably. Right, so Keeper of Secrets down 30 and Shalaxi is down by 40. Because obviously they had big rules changes, didn't they? And we haven't really seen them a huge amount on the table since, so maybe this will inspire people to take them a little bit more.
Shalaxi definitely needed it. She was way too expensive. She was suffering from the sins of the index, I think.
Yeah. Then we've got Lord of Change up 10. We've got Rotigus up 15, but the Endless Gift enhancement, which gave you the 4 at Feel No Pain, has now been changed to a 5 at Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
And it's 15 points instead of 30. So overall, I would have liked... It's like they've kind of gone in at the big offenders here. Like the 4 at Feel No Pain, Rotigus combo. But does that then mean people are going to change the look of the army? I would love to see a bit more variety. But
I just think they need more of the elite / little guys. Just give the little guys a shine.
Yeah, give them a little play. I mean, no, I don't want to see any blue horrors on the table.
Actually, no, no. Let's not talk about that. But like no, actually, I don't want flat 5 damage bloodletters. Do you know what? Keep your big demons.
Whatever.
It's fine. Yeah,
I'm happy with it. Let's move on. Right, Chaos Knights. So. Who is the big problem with Chaos Knights? If they are a problem, it is the double Gatler guy. The Desecrator.
36 damage to
Sorry,
shots.
the Despoiler. So I read the first one. Because the Desecrator is down by 10. The Despoiler, that gets all the different weapon options, is up by 15. And the Ruinator is down by 20. So the Chaos Knight with the big beamy gun is down by 10.
Your anti-vehicle options down 10. Your Ruinator... I actually like the Ruinator, but I know a lot of Chaos Knight players don't run him.
He's the one with the big flamer, isn't he?
The big flamer, it's the new one that come out.
Yeah.
I know that's not a popular choice. Whenever I've run it, I've actually it's got a lot of 2 damage.
So they're now all the same costs as the Abominant, which is 355.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because if you ever wanted to run that army of just like how many... with Chaos Knights, I can imagine like me and you were moaning about Custodes being, what does this even change, right? So if you went for, let's go for 2,000 points, divided by 355, you're looking at 5.6 Knights. So you can definitely take 5 big ones, but then what are you left with? So 355 times by 5 is 1,775 points.
A unit of Plague Bearers, what I think is about 110 for your home objective.
Okay.
So that's about 1885. That gives you 105 points, 115 points spare. So
how many do you say they were? 100 and...
I think they're around 110.
Around 110. Okay, cool. So yeah, then you've got 115 points left. Which
3 units of Nurglings.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Or I mean, I would rather see, rather than all the allies, I'd rather see some War Dogs put in there. You know, but just being a bit of a traditionalist. But the War Dog, which is the cheapest one, like the Executioner 130.
Yeah.
You can fit that in, but then that is all you're putting in after that. Maybe some Nurglings, yeah, like you said. Anyway, maybe it means if you go down to 4 big knights, the points will now open up for you to have, you know, more small knights. So
yeah, absolutely.
it all depends on, you know, like you're blocking it out, aren't you, basically?
And how many big knights you take in. I mean, the double the spoiler list.
Yeah.
You probably still see one.
Yeah.
Because they are still very, very good. Do you take 3 of them?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think you can take 4 small, 4 big.
Yeah.
That seems like an alright list.
4 small, 4 big.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look next at Chaos Space Marines. No rules changes.
Nope.
But we are going to now see some points changes. Now, the Chaos Lord and Terminator is down 10. The Fabius Baal 2 models is up by 15 because I think it was in most lists. And the Forge Fiend has come back down 10 points because I know it went up, didn't it? Because it was quite popular for a while. I don't really think this changes a huge amount personally for the army. It wouldn't really affect any of my list building. I wouldn't all of a sudden now put a Chaos Lord and Terminator armor in the list.
No. I
probably wouldn't take out Fabius Baal. and Forge Fiends, well, if you need them in your list, then you're still going to put them in anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, how much is those 10 points?
It's like, yeah, it's not massive. Like, it's not massive changes for CSM. Did they need it? Probably not. The army is in a decent place. They've got a new detachment, which isn't the most competitive, but if you're a Night Lords player, then it's a new way of playing Night Lords, I guess.
It's weird because I think it's a book that will, in some games, feel really strong. When those battle shocks start to come off, I think that is an army that could escalate, and it could feel quite oppressive in some games. I think it's going to get mixed reviews of how competitive it's going to be.
It definitely has potential.
It's much better than the previous one.
Oh, 100%. And it does, the effects should start triggering, and if they don't, you've been very unlucky, because you're going to be triggering it a lot. And that also comes down to list building. I think you have to build your list to be a lot more around leadership effects or battle shock causing effects that you have on data sheets or enhancements. But yeah, overall, CSM, they're in a good place anyway. I don't think they're in a bad place. So move on to the next one.
All right, okay, cool. So Dark Angels, 2 changes here. Azrael up 10.
It's about time.
Probably justified for what it does. Raven Guard, Black Knights down by 10 and 20 respectively of unit size. So will we see more Raven Guard, Black Knights on the table? I hope so, but I doubt it.
If you're running the whole Raven Guard or Raven Wing style list with all the bikes and stuff in Stormlance or even in the Raven Wing detachment, then you're going to be getting a few points back. But again, that's like, even on those sort of lists, what, you're getting 40 points max, maybe 60.
If the characters came down, you thought, actually, now that means I've got a new unit of scouts or JPIs that I could just add to my list, maybe it helps balance it out a little bit.
I think Dark Angels just really are suffering from, unfortunately, their codex detachments aren't great. The online publication ones that have come out have slowly got better. Like Wrath of the Rock is a competitive way to run Dark Angels.
Yeah, that is horrific to play against, actually. I played against that recently. It was real tough. Real tough to play against,
so they do have their own detachment now, which works, but are Raven Wing bikes really actually in that list? Probably not, but they could if you wanted.
All right, so let's move on to Death Guard.
Well,
no rules changes.
No rules changes.
I'm surprised by that. But anyway, I think there's a few little things they could have done to the army to tone it down to be, because I feel when I play against Death Guard, it's quite an oppressive army.
Yes.
Mostly for combat armies.
Yeah, so they've got 2 real offenders, really, haven't they, in their army rule. -1 to hit and -1 save.
Yeah.
The -1 to hit, like you said, into combat armies is horrific, because the only combat armies that really have access to counter to that is Space Marines, or a Space Marine equivalent, Blood Angels with Oath Moment.
Yeah.
But Drukhari, World Eaters, Emperor's Children, they really do feel the struggle into those sort of matchups. But
I'd rather it personally be either not trigger off units like your spawns and your Poxwalkers, because people could just keep throwing them at you to make everything -1 to hit. If it triggered off your like Marine equivalents, I'd be kind of a bit more okay with that, because at least they'd need to come close, you could kill them. But when they're just chucking at you like 60 point, 70 point units, it doesn't feel good for that to have that compounding effect on you. Or if it was like we get stealth, so at least in combat, you're good to go. You know, so it's like, hey, in this phase of the game, we're really good, but in this one, we're a little bit weaker. But anyway, that's not the case. And what's happened is Land Raiders have come down 20.
You're still not going to see them.
No, because they're not as efficient as all the other units. And Rotigus is up 15.
Like, if you're taking the Taliban Summoners, you're going to be taking a 15-point increase. But I think with Death Guard, like, we can't, like, they're not busted in the fact that they're obviously not winning events left, right, and centre, but the army does have the capability to feel like that, right? And even, like, the drones, they're so cheap.
And fast.
Like, there's just things with this codex that, whilst it's, as I'm sure as a Death Guard player, that it does feel like you have the tools to deal with anything in the game. It also doesn't fit probably the profile of what those units should feel like, or they just feel like these are really good data sheets. It's just how they look. That's how it is playing against Death Guard. But,
Well, exactly that. But anyway, Deathwatch.
Another army of yours. We're in the Ds.
I've got one more in my army, then I'm done.
The last D.
Then I'm off. So Deathwatch recently took this to Leicester, this army. The Indomitor Kill team is up by 15 points.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Do you think so? Because I don't.
Sure you don't. I won't lie. So Deathwatch, for me, playing against them, the big struggle I have is that uppy-downy double brick of the Indomitor King, the 2 Gravis. That's always been, whenever I played it, that combo was horrific to play against.
Now, I'd agree.
Yeah.
So, the Indomitor Kill team, in my mind, is up there. It's a good kill team. The one that I think could have come down is the one with all the jump packs in.
Yeah, with the Inceptors and stuff.
That one. Or the new unit that came out. The new kill team that came out. I think it's like 200 points.
Okay.
That could have come down. Because I felt like running 2 of those units at the weekend, I don't know if I'd take them again. I think the other units are just better.
Is that because they're a mix of all the kill teams? So they struggle with finding an identity, maybe?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
They don't have a specific role in the army apart from being like an all-rounder.
Sure.
And you don't need that really.
No.
You need this job, is done by this thing, and it's good at doing X or Y. So I feel like a little bit of tweaks could be done there.
Yeah.
Even if that meant my list stayed the same, but because I took a real mixed list of lots of different kill teams, if somebody just wants to spam the Indomitor Kill team and take 2 or 3 of them, then yeah, they should be punished for that, 100%, because you're spamming a kill team or unit. I will say though, what you mentioned about the 2 uppy downs, not a problem on UKTC, on the layouts.
Sure.
And I think that 2 of the games, because of the map layouts, I felt like it was actually a hindrance to me than a benefit, and for the most part I actually left all my units on the table.
Well, this is like GW Open, obviously it's going to be an amazing trick to do, right?
It's better, yeah. I think on those more open tables, when it's wider in terms of deployment, the map was wider, I felt like I had some agency, but I think on 2 of those games, I was just better off keeping my units on the table.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
So I think it's going to be very much mission, map, terrain layout,
Dependent,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway.
Final D?
Final D, Drukhari. So, rules change now that the Hand of the Archon can actually go in a Venom, which means the Hand of the Archon can now split into 2 units.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It's okay. I think if they keep their rule that their heavy weapons still gained the abilities of their actual ability, cool. Otherwise, you're better off just with Cabalite Warriors.
Sure, for the rerolls.
To give you the rerolls, which would probably just be better. I think they do scout move, if I'm correct.
Yeah, scout 7, I believe it is.
Right, so then that does mean you could scout a couple of Venoms up. Gives you a bit of early pressure. Do you need it? Probably not.
Well, you've got the movement anyway.
The army's pretty fast. You've got Mandrakes you can always put in the list.
Yeah.
You don't have to put them in the list, but you could, to give you a bit of infiltrating, forward pressure. Reavers have gone up 10 points, though, for 6.
Yeah.
And the Ravagers have come down 5. Ravagers down 5 ain't going to make a difference. Because after playing 3 of those things in tournaments, they do nothing.
Just ravage your mind.
They're just bad.
Okay.
They are bad because, you're like there, oh yeah, I got 3 Dark Lance shots with rerolls. But it's not the same rule as the Ballistus.
Yeah, the rerolls if it's below or not below half.
Yeah. It has to be at starting strength. And also, honestly, a wet fart kills these things.
Don't play Death Guard.
It's bad.
Yeah.
A unit of JPIs come over. Here's a grenade. I'll charge you. Oh,
I've got this power fist.
I haven't even used it. You're already dead. So I think it can't take a hit back. But I don't know if you would see this being played now over Scourges. I think you still take Scourges as your heavy option.
I don't know what. I'd love to hear what you think, what could have come, or what you would have rather have come down, because Drukhari, they feel strong, like they do have capabilities, but they have some extremely bad matchups.
They do, yeah.
The Hand of the Archon's nice because it probably should have always been that case.
Yeah.
And the Reavers, they're annoying in 3s, but in 6s, I wouldn't really be too scared of a 6. But
So the Reavers work well in a 6 when you're taking Reaper's Wager.
Sure.
Because you can advance them, charge them, you get the automatic advance move, you got the 2 Heat Lancers in there. It's pretty decent. But you're right, it's not going to oh my god, wow. You would only normally take one unit of 6. I don't think you would take a full 18.
Sure.
I could be wrong though. If people are taking 18, I'd love to see that list played because that's my kind of list.
I'm not holding objectives with that.
I think it's early days for the Codex.
Yeah.
Is there enough data on the army? Probably not to make a judgment call. I can only go by using it, feeling it out. There are some terrible matchups for this army. You run into Chaos Demons. You run into basically anything that doesn't have the infantry keyword or has a good armor save.
Yeah.
Multiple wounds. So, for example, when I would charge into a unit of Marines, for example, with 10 witches and a succubus, I'd probably kill 6 Marines, maybe 5. And I might kill the character if I'm lucky with the precision on the succubus. But I then lose those other 4 models or 5 models, pretty much pick up all my unit in return.
Yeah.
So it's not a trade that you really want to make. For the most part, you have to put them into something you guarantee kill. It is difficult. It really is into some sort of games. And a lot of people go, there's a lot of anti-infantry. Yeah, on about 2 characters.
And a couple of witches or something.
And a couple of weapons. It's not on all of them. And all the splinter pistols and everything that does have that anti-infantry has 0 AP.
Yeah.
So you look at Victrix Guard and they just laugh at you. Yet they're literally howling. So to get through that amount of wounds on a Victrix Guard unit or a Blade Guard unit or anything, it can be really difficult. So anyway, you don't want the army, in my opinion, just to be a really good mission playing army, because that's you want the army to actually feel like it can remove units.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's about inflicting pain. It needs to be able to kill as much as it wants to be able to score, and it's striking that balance between the two. Certainly as a Drukhari player, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Same for all the armies we play. We want them to have their place, right? Anyway, let's move on. Emperor's Children, new detachment, and also we've got a new change here to one of the detachments as well.
Rapid Evisceration. That's the so this is your transport detachment, and I feel like where's the Codex? Is it over there? Basically, this is now going to give reroll 1s to hit and wound to your transports as well. So this will affect things like firing deck.
Yeah.
So now you can have Noise Marines going to get the reroll 1s to hit and wound on your Blastmasters without disembarking, so you're not going to lose the efficiency of the unit.
Yeah.
And also you're going to get things like your Land Raiders get reroll 1s to hit and wound as well.
That's good, yeah.
I do think this is a good change just to give a bit more variety to the detachment, and I do like this detachment actually. Rapid Evisceration has got some really good enhancements and actually some good strats.
I would love to see this kind of changed throughout all the detachment
transport ones.
Yeah, because I think you want to lean into them, but you also don't want to feel like you lose. It's like a mixed one where I only get it when the sun turns blue and it's on the last Friday of the month.
Pigs are flying.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that's great. In terms of points changes, Chaos Spawn are down 10, Chaos Terminators are down 15, the Demon Prince on foot is down 15, but the Demon Prince with wings is up 15. So those people that were taking 3, you're up by 45 points. And the Keeper and Shalaxi are both down, the same as their index.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you swapped out one of your Demon Prince with wings with the regular Demon Prince, your list literally stays the same.
Yes, yeah. I do so the Demon Prince on foot actually I think is very underrated. Fight and Death on a 2-up.
And the new detachment as well.
And the new detachment as well. And then it gives an aura +1 AP.
Yeah. I think you could take the exact same list you've taken recently if you're a, coterie player or whatever, try out the new detachment, swap one of your Demon Prince with wings with another Demon Prince on foot, and you pretty much got the exact same list.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, it's a good time to be an Emperor's Children player because you've got some new ways to play the army. So
yeah, I don't know if I would take the Terminators still even down 15 points.
I think they might be correct me if I'm wrong, but they might be the cheapest Terminators in the game now, 155.
Maybe.
But I don't hate them in the new detachment.
No.
Because they could be good into clearing like some screens or something.
Strat for -1 to wound?
Strat for -1 to wound, the strat for +1 strength AP on their shooting. Even the charging, the +1 strength AP.
Yeah.
So they do have a decent place, but again, there's just better options, isn't there? So
I don't like their ability.
That's the problem.
Which is when you've got to shoot all your guns at a unit and then charge it.
Yeah.
doesn't feel like something I want to do.
No.
Because that's going to make my charge longer.
Yeah.
I want to be able to shoot something else and charge.
that.
Yeah. But anyway, right, cool. Genestealer Cult, 0 changes whatsoever. I haven't played Genestealer Cult in a while.
No.
To know only against them with Lee. I wouldn't be able to give you an opinion based on anything more than just I haven't seen them a huge amount of events either, which could also be a problem. Like I know they were like in favour for quite some time. Seeing all the top players move away from them is a sign that actually they might not be in the best place. Could they have done with some points drops? Probably.
I think with GSC, they're one of those armies that they're not a very popular army anyway, realistically, are they? But they're just not at the levels they were. They're probably at a balanced stage, so it's just not, like you said, the top players just aren't gravitating towards that faction.
Yeah.
But they still, like the Brood Surge one, still good.
Yeah.
Like they've got good data sheets. Abominants and the Aberrants is still a good unit. The Genestealers are still a very good unit in that army, but the meta probably doesn't help them either.
No, I'd agree with that.
So, Grey Knights.
All right, so we've got some points drops. We've got Interceptors, down 5 and down by 10, and also Purgation down by 10 and by 20. Now, I understand Purgation coming down 20 because there's no reason.
You never take 10. Just make it free, to be honest. Just give you 5 free Marines.
Yeah. Just here's an extra 10 arbitrary wounds.
Yeah.
Because that is literally what you're paying for. You're not going to get a huge much else for them.
Maybe a charge threat now. Now you could shoot and charge is the only thing you're getting out of it. But, I mean, I remember going over the Codex, and I like the Purgation Squad with some of the combos you can do, but there's just better options, I guess, isn't there? And But maybe this might see some of them on the table. Who knows? I
mean, it only needs to sometimes, and it's frustrating that we're in a place where we can only adjust lists by 5 or 10. When you had much more granularity in list building, I'd be much more excited about this, because then I'm like, okay, well, if I go up to 8, or these changes means I can take this unit up a little bit, but because you're literally waiting for it to unlock a new unit, or have a much better upgrade on a unit, sometimes those points changes don't help you take another enhancement.
Yeah. Sometimes simplicity isn't always the best thing for the game.
No.
But at the same time, it's what we're dealing with, I guess, isn't it? But I think Grey Knights, they're okay.
They'll stay in the same place.
They stay in the same.
Imperial Agents, no changes.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you're an Imperial Agent player.
They need an army rule.
They need something.
I think what they're lacking is an army rule.
Yeah, because it feels like it is just the ally bin for every other faction.
Yeah, I think if they had an army rule, I don't know what that should be. By any stretch, I don't know.
Orbital bombardment every turn.
Yeah.
Exterminatus.
Yeah. I really don't know, but I think they need an army rule.
Yeah.
Because they get detachment rules, but I looked at Deathwatch as an Imperial Agents player, and I'm not doing it.
Because you don't get over moment.
But I don't get the access to Space Marine units either.
Yeah.
So there is no point.
Take Sisters, wow. Grey Knight Terminators.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No. It's not happening. So anyway, let's move on to Imperial Knights. The code chivalric deed is changed.
Yeah.
I think it now says that at the end of the battle round, if you killed more units than the number of battle rounds, you then unlock it. What does it say currently as it stands?
So currently, it basically says the deed is completed at the end of a turn if the number of destroyed enemy units is greater than the battle round.
Right, so this makes it a little bit easier to achieve, because now obviously, like if your opponent charges you and you interrupt and you kill a unit, or you kill a unit on, you can't Overwatch with big ones, but with small ones.
Maybe.
Yeah, or there's an ongoing combat and you manage to kill one, or if they remove, no, it's just, it needs to be destroyed. Yeah.
Destroyed, yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, it would be one of those aspects where,
and all the big
maybe they desperate escape, lose
models or lose unit. Yeah, this is the thing. I think it's just a lifestyle change for the army, I guess, isn't it? But at the same time, all the big knights, they've all gone down 10, or the 5 main ones: the Crusader, the Defender, the Errant, the Gallant, the Warden. They've gone down 10 points each. So
yeah,
okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Will we see knights on the table? I don't know. them and Chaos Knights kind of got bombarded out of the scene for a bit just because everyone teched into them, really, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were busted for a while, though.
They were, yeah.
They had a couple of detachments that really popped off.
Busted.
But anyway, okay, cool. Leagues of Votann. No rules changes, but I think Jake's going to have to buy some more models with these changes because there's a lot of points drops.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to go through these. The Arcanist is down 10. Who's Bury?
Bury, Agneson, the guy with the spear and the Tyranid on his back.
Oh, the guy's hiding underneath a Tyranid because he's scared, He's down 15.
Yeah.
We've then got Steeljacks down 5 points for 3, Steeljacks down by 10 for 6, the ranged Steeljacks down by 5 and also for 10, respective of their sizes. The Carl is down 5, the Sagittars are down 5, but the Trivac Cyber Implant, is that an enhancement?
Trivac Cyber Implant, yeah.
That's what I said, sub 10.
The sub 10. So that is basically, it's a Brandfast Oathband enhancement. It means that in your shooting phase, each time the bearer's unit is selected to shoot, if it disembarks from the transport and you spend 2 CP, or 2 YP, sorry, not CP, that'll be nuts, sustained hits 2.
Cool, all right.
So that's gone up 10 points. I think fair. 40 points now.
Yeah. It's been interesting because I know a few people have toyed with the Votann. We haven't seen a huge amount of it at events, though.
No, they are a good army, though. I mean, I've played against them, and they are, like, those Steeljacks they are good. Bury, I think, probably could have come down, but he is a bit of a weapon in his own right if he was pointed appropriately, which hopefully now he is.
Yeah.
So
see what happens then.
Yeah, exactly. It's some nice points changes if you're a Votann player.
Right, Necrons.
Nothing.
No changes?
No.
Probably fair?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think Necrons for quite a while has been a problem. And I think like they've kind of, for the past, I'm going to give an estimate here, 6 months, maybe, where they've not been too much of an issue. Just been mid-board terror.
No, nobody's like, oh, I've got to play Necrons now.
No, exactly.
It's like, oh, I've got Necrons.
Unless it's that Awakened Dynasty Silvertide, then you're like, oh,
is it gonna be a slog?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's fair. Now, this next one, I'm a little bit shocked by.
This is a war crime.
Now, it's not. It's a war host.
It's a war. Yeah, war horde.
War horde. It's a war host of something.
Yeah.
Orks. So no changes for Orks.
No.
I am surprised that the combo with either Gaz being able to lead 20 boys, or the mech being able to join a Gaz unit. There's an interaction there I personally dislike.
Yep.
I think it's really oppressive, and if you don't know how to handle it, it is a big problem. I think it can steamroll the casual gamer. Orks are in a strong place, I think. They're a sleeper army. They do have some tough matchups, don't get me wrong. They've got some real hard counters, but for the most part, I think that interaction alone is a bit too much.
Just needs to be looked at, didn't it? But
yeah.
I don't know if you agree with this, Steve, but if you look at a teams event and you look at what teams are all taking,
yeah,
I think that usually is a good indicator of what is potentially, and I'm putting this in brackets, busted at the time.
A strong build, yeah.
A strong build, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone was taking the double Gatler Knights, Orks, Aeldari, like they're the three, the big ones, right?
Yeah.
And Orks are, like that combo alone was what everyone builds around.
Yeah.
And look, as an Orc player, I'm sure it's funny watching flying Gaz go across the board, but that unit shouldn't be able to steamroll an entire opponent's army.
Also, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Thematically, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'd rather, like, you've got the Lion, you've got Angron, you've got, Rabute. They can't lead units. Gazgul should feel like a Primarch.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. But anyway.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's a tough one, but it's weird that hasn't been looked at in a way. But I don't think points changes was a thing for Orks. I think they're fine in that regard, but it is just the Gaz combo that is
bit much.
Mad.
All right, anyway.
Space Marines.
Okay, so the couple of rules changes here. First of all, a new data sheet, refresh for the Terminator Assault Squad. They now hit on 3s, not 4s. Desperately needed. I also think that their unit rule could have been changed to be Battle Shock at a -1.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd never take the Thunder Hammers, you're not really taking them for the damage output, you're taking them for the dev wounds and more so the durability.
And the fort, yeah.
But them hitting on 3s gives them a bit of a place now.
You do get an extra attack as well on the Lightning Claw, so it's 6 attacks per Lightning Claw.
Okay.
I still think you go with the hammers.
Because you want the 4 wounds.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing you're really
Maybe in the
looking
new
for.
Blood Angels attachment, 8 attacks per Lightning Claw.
That'd be pretty cool. Battle shock yourself.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Now, Hunter's Instincts changed to your movement phase. What is Hunter's Instinct?
So that was the one that allowed you to come on basically rapid ingress.
Okay, so this is for the Talon Strike.
Yeah, the Shadow Mark.
The Raven Guard detachment, basically. And it's an enhancement that allowed you to rapid ingress turn 1 in your opponent's turn. Now, you can only do this you can only come down turn 1 in your movement phase, which I think is a good change.
Yeah.
So, I'm personally surprised they kept the +1 to wound off for Oath.
Same.
I would have liked that to have gone. I don't think they need it anymore because I think the new detachments are great.
Yeah. Bar the Imperial Fist one, but
yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. But other than that, like you said, Marines have now got their influx of new stuff. They don't need that support from the +1 to wound.
No. I
don't think they ever needed +1 to. Always thought that was a bit too much, but
yeah.
At the same time, I thought this would be the time it goes, but alas, it's not.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at the units that have come down. The Storm Speeder Thunderstrike is down 15. I took that at the weekend. I think it should be reduced by 150 points. That was certainly a waste of points for me.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Victrix for 3 have gone down 10 points. Yes, you heard it. Victrix Guard are down by 10. Cato Sicarius, you'll also be pleased to know, is down by 25 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lieutenant is down by 10.
Okay.
The regular Lieutenant is down by 10.
Yeah.
Well, giving him away. Caroso Khan is down to 10. He's
away.
He's literally free.
Yeah.
You just get him now.
Just get Kosara Khan if you're playing White Stars. It's
mad. Eradicators are down by 10 points and 20.
So 90 or 180 now, I think it is, or 190.
Fair.
Yeah,
I think that's okay.
Aggressors as well, 5 for 3 and 10 for 6. Like Gravis units, I think.
Don't see any play.
Eradicators are the only ones you would see consistently throughout all of 10th, I would say. Just as like the staple option to kill a monster or vehicle. But
now, hear me out here. Aggressors in Blood Angels, mate. 2 extra attacks and the ability to advance, shoot, and advance and charge. That's not a bad unit for you. Anyway, now they'll go into points increases. Ethan Shan is up 25.
Fair.
When we reviewed his points, we thought it was mad how cheap he was. So I think that's fair. Vanguard Vets up 5 and up 10. Yeah. I think that's fine.
Agreed.
I think it's pretty fair as well. Victrix Guard are up 30 points though for 6.
250 now for 6 Victrix, which is fine. Like they're not unmanageable now at that point. I mean, that list goes up 90. Yeah,
but it also drops immediately 25 points because of Cato. Well, so it's actually only really going up if you took 18 of them. It's only going up by, it would be 90. It's now just going up 65 points.
Yeah, because you can still take Captain Sicarius or Cato, and Captain Sicarius was like the cheaper option. I don't think Cato needed to come down. Maybe 5 points, if you wanted to bring him down, but not 25, because that just defeats the object to bringing down a Victrix brick.
Yeah, I think they probably did it so people just didn't take Captain or Captain Sicarius, or you just put his points up. But giving that unit a reactive move and a scout move, might even be more valuable than Cato, which is because Cato gets the extra damage in combat.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Scent devs as well.
Now this is what I've got a problem with.
Yeah.
I like my scent devs.
You do love your tubbies.
However, they're being abused in one detachment because they can leave the table, come back on.
Yep.
Now we've seen, for example, Uriel Ventress not be allowed to select Centurions to Deep Strike. Now, is Deep Strike the problem? Or is it the unit coming off the table and coming back on that's the problem?
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Is it the fix is not to remove them from having Deep Strike, it's to say to them, you can't leave and come back on. Because now they've pointed this unit to a place where you're never going to see them in any other detachment. And I hate that about the game.
Yeah.
It really infuriates me that you can have these really cool models and that there's this one detachment that kills it for you.
Well, I remember you trying to get, convince me to take them in my Blood Angels list, but I was always looking at them like, these are pricey. I would never take these just in a standard list, like to be my anti-vehicle or to give me a threat. They just don't offer you anything outside of those detachments.
And now it's just got worse for them.
Yeah.
So I think it is a problem that, you know, if there is a stratagem that does abuse a unit, sort the strat out. And
not the unit.
The unit, because you kill the unit, and then ultimately as well, probably kill your cells of that unit as well. Because unless you're taking that detachment and buying them, you're probably not going to buy them in any other army.
Well, it's almost 400 points now for 6 of these guys, isn't it? Which is like, I mean, that's almost 3 gladiators.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ever take it?
Right, Space Wolves. We'll move on. Space Wolves. Bjorn is down 10. Everybody took him. He was an auto include. Iron Priest down 5.
Okay.
Murderfang down 10.
Okay.
Vulnerable Dreadnought down 10, which nobody ever took. Fine. The Grey Hunters, though, are down 15 points. Now, nobody took these guys, but equally, I think there's a lot of other units that just overshadow their potential. Because I think this is a unit with real potential, actually.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember doing the course with this unit and genuinely looking at them like, this is a staple unit for a list. But when you start to put other units in and you go, well, Blood Claws just do it better and they're cheaper, and this unit is better in combat and I can get more damage here and I could just put intercessors in. So it's
Blood Claws are faster.
Yep.
Terminators are more durable. Head Takers do more damage. It's like I said earlier about my Deathwatch unit. Bit of an all-rounder, but I think Space Wolves are already quite a cheap Space Marine army, actually.
I won't lie, I look at some of the units and I am, like the Battle Leader, another example, 65 points for what that character offers. If I had that in any other Marine army, I'd be laughing. And the units it can go with all the units you want it to.
Yeah.
I think Space Wolves are a very cheap army, but probably Bjorn didn't need to come down. The rest I'm happy with.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, yeah, I think overall Space Wolves are in a good place, especially with this new detachment, which I'm extremely excited to play. So
it's nice. Yeah, the new detachment is very good. And we've done a review on that as well, so you can check that out. We'll put the link below. Okay, Tau. Okay, the Strike team is down by 5 for 10. The Storm Surge is down by 40. The Sky Ray gunship is up by 10. The Riptide is up by 10.
Good.
Breachers are down by 10 as well. Nothing here though for
stealth suits.
Stealth suits, yeah.
I think so. I won't lie. I think, look, I'm not a Tau player, so I don't know the ins and outs of what the healthy changes are for the faction, but I think it's a good change to have the stealth suits go to 5s, because I feel like every list was just 3 stealth suits. Whereas now it's not necessarily like that, and their role changes slightly because you're paying the premium for 5 models.
Yeah. Maybe, you bring Pathfinders instead.
Yeah, exactly. So it changes the list from just being cut, copy, paste, right? And I think Riptides as well going up probably makes it fair because they've had the change with their strength, and they're in every list as well. But Tau aren't, apart from the Montcar list, actually, and the UKTC, they've been an absolute nightmare to deal with.
They're so fast, and they can unlock all the terrain so quickly, with the scout moves.
So I think these are fair changes. I don't think any of them are absolutely bonkers. So.
I think it is time to get the old Storm Surge out, though. 40 points, that is tempting. And I do like a bit of Breacher spam.
You do.
So 6 units of Breachers, 60 points saving. Here we go.
Stephen Box is starting a Tau army.
Yeah. Okay. Thousand Suns, we got a rule change. The scintillating Legion units gain the army rule. Ooh. Who's that? Who's got the scintillating Legion?
The Demons.
What?
Yeah. The Demons get the army rule.
What?
I don't think this is
This is unheard of, isn't it?
I don't think this is a good change.
Are you sure?
Yeah, scintillating Legions now have the army rule. So basically, your army rule, you're going to be getting reroll hits.
Right.
Extra AP. Kairos.
Oh dear.
Reroll hits. Indirect flat 3 damage. Bling. You're dead.
Oh dear.
Not good.
Now, most people do just take the one detachment though, don't they, with Thousand Suns? That I've seen the majority of.
So yes, the 1,000 Sun detachment is the one that everyone takes, which is Grand Coven.
Yeah.
Grand Coven is the one that everyone is taking currently. It would have been nice to see other detachments actually have a bit more, like the Rubrique Phalanx be looked at a bit more. I mean, the Warforged Cabal you never even look at anyway, but I just think...
You can't look at it.
No, you can't. Don't look at it.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's what I was looking at when I read the changes for the Demons. I just don't think, like, look, it's a new way to play Thousand Suns. There's going to be a whole new way. If you're a Thousand Sun player, you're going to be seeing all these different combos. However, the fact that some of these units like Kairos getting the buff and then the buff of this as well, I just think that this will be the new competitive way to run Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
And is it good for the game? I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Time will tell. People will tell us, I'm sure, in the comments. What does it do for you if you're a Thousand Suns player? Give us your thoughts. But points changes. The Predator Destructor's down 10. The Forge Fiend's down 10. The Mauler Fiend's down 10. The Mutalith Vortex Beast is down by 5. Rubrics are down by 5 for 5. The Sorcerer's down by 5. The Zangor Enlightened for 3 are down by 10. The Zangor Enlightened with bows are down by 5 for 3 as well. Kairos is up 25. Lord of Change is up 20. We'll see how they start shaking out. There's a lot of changes there.
I mean, T-Suns needed points changes.
Yeah.
To help them with the rules, the army rule change, because that was a big blow.
Yeah.
Did they need that? I don't think that was really the answer, for me personally. But anyway, Tyranids.
Tyranids, no rules changes. The Screamer Killer is down 10.
Yep.
The Carnifex is down by 25 points for 1 and 50 for 2. I like the Carnifex unit. And I think now, this is good.
Yeah.
Will it bring Tyranids back into a competitive place where it can start to tackle those top tables?
Be a bit more damaging.
I don't know, but...
I wish that Exocrine just went up to 1,000 points each.
I think you're a bit biased there, mate.
No, 1,000 points per Exocrine. Just all of them go up. And Maleceptors, do you know what? You can only take one. The Epic Heroes.
Epic Hero. What's the Tyrannifex? Legend.
Yeah. Just Legend the Tyrannifex, especially the one with the Acid Flamer. Get rid of that thing. And the Biovore, there should be a new detachment where the Biovore just takes over everything.
Yeah, okay, cool. You can only take Biovores.
Take Biovore army.
Will it help this army? I don't know.
Probably not. They're not units that are really going to change. The Carnifex Brood with Old One Eye looks interesting now.
Ooh.
50-point decrease on that, so well, it's pretty good.
I do like the Carnifex. They're so cool.
And Old One Eye.
Yeah.
What is?
Yes, do World Eaters. So, no rules changes. Angron's down 20. Goremongers are down by 10.
Yeah.
Slaughterbound up 15. Lord on Jug up 15. The Berserker Glaive up by 10. And the Helm of the Brazen Ire
up 10.
Up 10 as well. I think these are all pretty fair, actually.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think both the Slaughterbound and Lord on Juggernauts in every list. The enhancements are taken in every list. Angron coming down to 340. Do you take him? Probably not, because there's just... If you've taken 20 Berserkers, you can't take Angron, because that's almost half your army.
Yeah.
But I don't think Angron's terrible, personally. I just think, unfortunately, there's better things, and he's just... Demon Primarchs in 10th edition aren't durable enough.
Well, it's only the only one you see play is Magnus.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have only seen him for pretty much the whole edition.
And that's just because of how damaging he can be in his wing.
I felt in 9th edition you saw Angron a lot.
Yeah, the problem with Angron, though, is his ability.
Yeah.
The fact I don't know how you can balance an ability properly that feels fair for both the World Eater player and an opponent.
Well, to be honest, I've always said get rid of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like it.
I agree.
Because for that exact element, you lose to World Eaters. Oh, it's because Angron came back. And you win with him, and they go, how many times Angron, how did he, he came back 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Yeah.
But anyway.
4 times.
Well, I've had him come back 3.
Yeah.
So that's not fair.
No.
It's really not.
But then now, his ability completely takes away your whole army rule, and he comes back on 8 wounds, which is fair for that ability. But then it just makes Angron look like, well, why would I take you?
Yeah.
He also lost an aura for reroll hits.
He lost a lot. His aura's changed significantly.
His damage is great.
Yeah.
But again, he doesn't offer anything else.
Yeah.
So 20 points, does it change? Probably not. If you're an Angron super fan, great. You've just
I think
20.
the Slaughterbound going up 15's perfect. The Lord on Jug going up, I don't know if that's the problem or if 20 Berserkers is the problem. Because that's the interaction that is the issue.
I just think Berserkers should be able to go in 5s.
If they were 5s and 10s, or just 10s,
yeah,
that's different. I think the...
I a horde of berserkers running at you and just going, all of us can fight through a ruin.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get around, isn't it? But
yeah, I don't, because when you put, like, you don't ever really put the Lord on Jug with the 8 bound, although he can.
no,
Which isn't, which is then to go to show that he's not a problem with it with 8 bound, he's a problem with the berserkers.
but also he gives 10-inch move to the unit. So you think about like what that doesn't really do anything for 8 bound, but for berserkers that's quite big.
Also affects your pivot.
Yes.
And how Blood Surge and Rapid Ingress can all work as well. So there's the interaction there. But anyway, on the whole, I think, give me who you think is the biggest loser. We'll put that in brackets. Who has lost out the most, either by significant changes or not getting changes they needed? So who do you think's the biggest loser?
Aeldari. I think that justified, but they are the biggest loser.
I think so. I think probably the biggest losers, if we think about it, we've got Aeldari, we've got Admech because the big points changes, especially to their competitive list. The Raven Guard detachment, big loser, and they're the 3 that maybe Chaos Knights with all the Gattlers.
Maybe Ultramarines, but again,
I don't think
enough.
No, they lose a unit of scouts. It's not a big.
It doesn't change anything.
No, the Victrix Guard are horrendous to play against. After playing against them at the weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't, and I think that, unfortunately, I think with this data slate, it hasn't tackled some of the problems hard enough, but it has impacted some of the changes, like the Aeldari. I think these are positive changes, but other issues are still out there in the wind, and we've got to tackle them. I
mean, I think it either goes to show that the game isn't in a bad state. I don't think it is. I think a lot of armies, we see a huge diversity in armies. I think what we've got is good balance. In my general perspective, is we've got good external balance across factions. There's not great internal balance within factions, though.
Agreed.
Like, there's normally the go-to detachment, and if you don't play that detachment, it feels like you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing the optimal one.
I agree.
There's not many factions I can really think of where actually my list would fit in a variety of detachments.
I think, like you said, that some armies, like World Eaters are a good example, actually, is they're dependent on Berserker Warbands.
Yeah.
And I think unfortunately, there's too many armies out there currently. Tyranids Invasion Fleet, maybe Subterranean, but again, for the most part, you just see Invasion Fleet.
Yeah. There's like 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Now with the exceptions of Marines, because obviously they've got their like more faction-focused ones. But I think for the most part, it's very restrictive in that way.
Yeah.
I think Marines could have been looked at. Templars. You never see any actual Templar detachment.
No.
Which is a real shame.
Blood Angels are in a good space.
Yeah.
I think overall they've been in a good space for quite a while.
I think if we factor in now the new detachments, Adepta Sororitas, I think will kind of stay as they are.
Yeah.
I think they're in a good place. Custodes, we'll probably see an extra scoring unit.
But it's not massive changes.
It won't change how because everyone still needs to deal with Victrix Guard, and what kills Victrix Guard kills Custodes, and what kills Eldar and Sister kills your Vigilators.
Yeah.
So they haven't really given a lease of life to the Dreadnoughts or the tanks and stuff, which would have given it a different bracket, or the bikes, for example. Admech, obviously we spoke about Eldar. Yeah, Astra Militarum, I think are a big winner because of the new detachment.
Yeah.
And not having any points changes. Black Templars, I think a little bit of a loser.
Yeah.
Loser. Blood Angels, big winner.
Big winner.
Yeah, Chaos Demons, I think bit of a lease of change of life here, with the the indirect happening.
So maybe with the flat 3 damage here in Demons isn't as bad, but like definitely in T-Sons, I think
T-Sun's a bit of a winner in this.
T-Sun's maybe the biggest winner, I think.
Yeah, getting a bit of a glow up out of all this. Chaos Marines, not really much to change there. Dark Angels, there'll be no real changes. Death Guard, no real changes. Deathwatch, no real changes. Drukhari, I think, are a bit of a loser.
Yeah, they needed a bit more help.
I think so. I know it is early for them, but I think they've missed out a little bit here. Emperor's Children.
Winners.
Yeah, especially with the new detachment. Yeah,
winners.
Genestealer Cult.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the faction well enough to comment, to be honest.
Same with Grey Knights. I don't think that they really...
Yeah.
They're not winners or losers.
Imperial Agents, biggest loser of them all.
Sorry.
They needed something.
Yeah.
Imperial Knights, bit of Lisa life change with points changes, hopefully. Same with Leads of Votann. Necrons and Orks. Orks got off lightly.
Big winners.
Gaz is like, did they notice us?
Just Makari, just like, put the banner down.
Shh, everybody be quiet. Orc players was like, right guys, if you're an Orc player, let's stop playing them.
Stop warring.
Let's stop playing Orcs for a bit, yeah? Hopefully we'll slip under the nest.
Yeah.
And then we'll come out January popping. Yeah.
The January war. That's
New army. No, new year, new war. Yeah, that's
new war.
Space Marines, you got off lightly, I tell you.
Big winners.
Big winners are Space Wolves. Tau, not too sure on. Thousand Suns, good winners. Tyranids, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to change much. World Eaters, not the biggest changes really to shake things up. So ultimately, that's probably been an hour of saying not much has changed, guys. And it's all about those new detachments, though.
Yep.
And if you want to check those out, then check out the links below. Guys, thank you for your time. We appreciate it immensely. We've had a great conversation anyway. It's given us a lot to talk about. And I really do hope, 40k continues to be the epic game that it is.
Same.
I can honestly say for the last 6 months here at the channel, it's been incredible. We've had great fun playing games, talking about it with the students on the academy, playing at events. It really has been, for me anyway, personal highlight. I've really, really enjoyed the last 6 months.
I think the game's actually in a good state. I think that, look, there's always going to be problems, situations in the game. But for the most part, like, I've had a lot of fun playing 40k.
Yeah.
And I think with these changes, new detachments, new lease of life for a lot of my factions anyway, if you... Hopefully.
And I've been inspired to pick up new detachments. So I think that's all good. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think? We'd love to hear your opinions. Please keep them respectful towards us and also GW and everybody else. And we'll improve as a community going forward. But anyway, see you guys on the next video. And we're going to have loads of members content coming up all around this using all the new changes of the game. So become a member and it certainly helps us out and you get a load of extra content. So we'll see you soon. Take care.